Dashboards. We've mentioned dashboards. Production and consumption efficiencies. Dashboards. All these created once the data is corrected, collated, aggregated, and therefore displayed. So you've got full control over what can happen on that channel. Let's proceed. So what is our true value addition? Is that one, we give you a meter. Probably the lead interface between a customer and the water service provider is the meter. So we give you a meter that is KEBS approved and that actually meets the accuracy levels and beyond what you actually expect. So you've got the meter, then you've got the platform. The software that enables you to actually, from the comfort of your office, be able to capture all this information. And therefore, we help you with data analytics. We give you a meter management platform that then integrates with the billing platform so that beyond what's happening with the water system, you're able to capture information necessary for you to pass on a bill to a customer for payment. So up there, we've got a meter, we've got our staff working on those meters and onboarding them onto the platform. And then you've got wonderful dashboards there. When you wake up in the morning, you're actually able to see how many meters that you have. Those will be the number of meters that you have. Those will be the number of domestic meters. Those will be the number of bulk meters. You'll be able to see how much water was consumed by the domestic meters. You'll be able to see how much water passed through all the bulk meters in the morning. You'll be able to see on that chart how many meters you have and how many meters reported on the appointed time. You configure the meters to report to you the consumption after some time. So let's say 3 a.m. in the morning or 5 in the morning. And therefore, at that point, you're able to know, out of my 100 meters, only 90 reported. And you ask yourself, why didn't the others report? On and on. So you've got wonderful, wonderful viewing over what is going on the ecosystem. Next. So those are our meters connected through an optical cable to a configuration device. But our key advantages are that our meters, they don't clog, they use NB-IoT. They have a battery that can live for a period of 10 to 15 years. We program the battery to only respond to us only once a day and just give all the information that we needed once a day. And that's why it's able to live for a long period of time. We've got meters that have been around since 2017. That's about 5-6 years. And we've not changed the battery. They've got a temperature sensor. We have got a pressure sensor. We have data logging capabilities, both for the domestic meters and for the bulk meters. In fact, you can make the bulk meter behave like an APN. In the event that there is an issue in the network, in the unlikely event that Safaricom's network would be down, very unlikely, then all the data, all the meters connected to a particular bulk meter will be reporting to the bulk meter. And that data will be stored. And when the network is up, then that will be uploaded.
2 minutes.
You've got notifications. You configure these to a notification gateway. And you've got SMSs, you've got emails. You've got a notification and visibility on the go. Wherever you are, you know what is happening. Let's go on.
1.5 minutes to go.
Meter onboarding parameters are purely technical. You require to know the protocol. You require to know the access point. You need to choose the network that we're using. You get reports. We get downloads. You've got various items being monitored and being displayed in pie charts, in graphical form, in whichever way that you want that to be displayed. It's gone. We have an R&D team. Currently, we want to add these features onto our meters. Of importance is that we've got residue chlorine. Instead of having an independent item measuring that, we would want to measure that from the meter. We are looking at the ability to measure turbidity and have that be shared across. we are working at the ability to manage a meter remotely from the comfort of an SMS integration. And we have manhole monitoring. You know, when people tamper with manholes, it's good that you get informed so that you know what's going on in there. And we've got borehole monitoring solutions. I wanted to take 2 minutes. Langat at the back, you have to give me something here to just show you in real data over all the things that we are discussing here. And you are able to actually see a DMA. You are actually able to see those graphs so that it is not just being said, but it's actually visible. So 1 minute.
Your time is up, actually.
Oh, is it?
So
just 1
1
minute. Angat had promised me that do this very, very well. Very good. That's our live system. I'm connected. You want to kill that?
Switch the screens.
You know, just showing the devices that I currently have on the system I'm on. I'm able to see the number of meters, devices in total, residential. I'm able to see these dashboards that are telling me how many. If I come here, I'm able to see the percentage of items that are on, a number of devices that are reporting. If I come here, I can see all the number of domestic meters that are actually reporting, that are live. I'm able to see non-resident just means bulk meters. I'm able to quickly see, this is the case for the Kenya Re DMA, where we've got 161 devices. And the different colors are basically showing you the amount of water passing through the bulk meter and the amount of water that is passing through the domestic meters connected to that DMA. And therefore, you, every morning, you're able to see your percentage of non-revenue water, so to speak, and you're able to take action as to why that is so. If I in half a minute, I would go to, and it's not allowing me to do that. I wanted to just show you a live meter that would be showing data, data in terms of consumption on a day-to-day basis. Looks like you've got issues with our network. But yeah, you are actually able to see data consumption on each and every meter on a day-to-day basis. So thank you very, very much for your audience. Thank you for having us around.
Thank you. A round of applause for the presenter. Yeah, thank you for that. Actually, the data is showing is, yesterday we didn't have time to visit the Kenya Re site, and what he's talking about is the areas we are collaborating with the COSOFT, and what he's actually said is what is actually happening on that site. So technology. So our next, sure. So shall we welcome our next presenter, Stephen Ndirangu from Smart People Africa. He is going to give us a presentation on the next wave of metering infrastructure. That's a good one. The next wave of metering infrastructure. So I am not.
Everyone, obviously my name is not Stephen Ndirangu, however I am here to represent him. My name is Warren Juguna from Smart People Africa, and as we mentioned, we'll be discussing about the next wave of metering infrastructure. So I don't know if we have our slides ready. Okay. So maybe as we wait, I could just proceed. So when we're talking about the next wave of metering infrastructure, first of all, we're going to begin to look at water loss and what the current state is. So as we know, we currently have over 45% of NRW, which is above the recommended amount, and we're looking to get to below 25% according to WASPA. So some of the key challenges that the utilities are facing is the inability to monitor the NRW. The next slide, please. Next. Yes. So some of the key challenges that the utilities are facing is their inability to monitor the NRW. So they don't have visibility of what is actually happening with regards to their non-revenue. There's also a lot of use of the mechanical meters, which again is not able to give proper data. We have high O&M costs, meter reading integrity. Again, once the meter readers go on site, sometimes you're not able to know whether they're actually relaying the correct readings, or even when you have a disconnection list, and then you have the customers who are collaborating together with the meter readers who are not doing the actual disconnection. So there's a lot of issues with regards to the integrity when it comes to the meter reading. Another one, again, is a lack of real-time data. So how AMI works, this is just the interconnection of the relationship from the point of the meter reading through the fixed network up until the meter endpoints. So that is what we are going to be discussing today, and understanding how AMI works and some of the key benefits of the AMI technology. When it comes to the components of AMI, we have the meters and the sensors. So this is the prepaid smart meters, the postpaid smart meters, the sensors, the leak detectors, the pressure sensors. So those are some of the main components of AMI. We also have the hardware, which is the connectivity. We also look at the software, and I have to say that the software is actually one of the key components of AMI infrastructure. Without the software, you don't have data, and without data, you don't have visibility, meaning that you're not able to make active decisions that are going to help in reduction of the non-revenue water, and in relation now deal with the water loss management. The other thing is the people and the processes. People are actually a very crucial aspect when it comes to dealing with AMI. I know there's the threat, or there's the fear that once we start using the smart meters, then what happens to the meter readers and other people who are actually involved in the process. However, it is important to note that these people can be reassigned through capacity building. You can be able to identify the other key areas they can actually assist the utility, and that would come in maybe even the physical losses. So people are actually quite a very key component when it comes to AMI, and also the processes that you already have, even within your utility, on how you deal with the non-revenue. So the benefits of AMI, as I mentioned, one of the key benefits is data collection. Without data, you don't have visibility, and without visibility, you're not able to make decisions with regards to how to handle or how to deal with the non-revenue water. And when you have visibility, then it also means that when it comes to risk, you're able to mitigate your risks because you know the key areas that you need to be focusing on, even to deal with the water loss. And then that also means that you have improved service delivery, overall improved service delivery within the utility. Another one of the key components or the key benefits is two-way meter communication. We're talking about a meter that is able to communicate both ways. So that means that you're not doing meter reading once a month only, you're doing meter readings every hour, every week, or as frequent as you would like to do it, meaning that you have data that you're actually able to monitor. And that also means that the meters, some of the meters that we have, because we also do the smart meters, they have a valve that you're able to shut down automatically, meaning that whenever you are, you can actually shut down the meter remotely. So that is another benefit of the AMI. The meter is not only relaying readings, however, you're also able to communicate with the meters. Again, with the NRW, you can now monitor your NRW zones because you have data right from the production to the distribution up until the billing. You're able to find out or monitor what exactly is going on. Then you can put and you can focus more attention on the key areas that are now actually causing a lot of water loss. We're able to do the leak detection. You're now billing on actual consumption. You don't have to do the estimates anymore because now the meter is relaying the actual readings, which also means that you can optimize water loss because you have the consumption management and you know what, how water is being consumed. You can be able to increase your production if there is need for that. I have already discussed the real-time meter consumption. So you have the consumption management, you're able to plan. We also have asset management. We have instances where, for example, utilities are actually replacing meters out because they have aged. But once you have a monitoring system where you're able to see from data, then you're able to know that you need to now start making the replacements of the various components. You also have increased customer satisfaction. Again, we have issues with customers because bills are being read on estimate, so you find that you have actually overbilled a client, but when you have actual readings, then that means that you're actually able to give a client what they have only consumed. Again, that also means that once a customer calls when they have a complaint, you're able to actually sort out their issue because of the actual data that you have. You're not trying to figure out what exactly is happening. You can see the consumption. You can tell that maybe at this particular point, we can see that you had more consumption than usual, and you're able to sort out the issue. So that means that in terms of customer satisfaction, you are actually guaranteed that your customers are going to be satisfied. And again, when we're able to mitigate and when we're able to deal with the water loss, it means that we have improved revenue. And I believe that is one of the key components. You actually are able to improve your revenue because you have improved billing, which also means that your utility is doing well overall, and you're also able to manage the workforce, which is one of the things that I had mentioned, that there's a risk or there's a threat or the fear that once you move to the smart metering or once you incorporate technology within your utilities, because it's not just with the meter reading, it's also the softwares or the ERP. You feel as though the workforce may be out of date or they need to be declared redundant. However, you are actually able now to make better use of the human resources that you have. You can reassign them to actually help meet the targets of the utility. So now that we have looked at the benefits, how do we now ensure that we are tapping into this new wave? First of all is the acquisition of the metering infrastructure, right from the meters, which is a smart prepaid or postpaid meters. You can actually now begin the acquisition of it. We use the smart meters that have the NB-IoT technology, which we are working together with Safaricom for the SIM cards. So once you have the metering infrastructure, then you're able to proceed to the software, which is another key component of it, the billing and the data management software. Without the software and without the data, then your components or your meters are actually not going to help you much with regards to the non-revenue water reduction. You actually need the software to be able to help you figure out what exactly is happening, what is the data, what is on the ground, what are we fixing, and what are we working towards. And that is the data analytics. So when it comes to the result of the AMI, of course, there's a water loss reduction and improved efficiency and revenue collection. So some of the interventions by SPA, as I have mentioned already, we have an ERP system, an integrated billing system that is being used by a majority of the utilities across the different counties. We have a case of Nyeri and Nakuru who have actually reported that there is a reduction of NRW, especially the commercial losses. So with that, they are now able to deal with the physical losses. So this is one of the things that we are currently working on. Our ERP is fully integrated and it's able to automate all the solutions end to end, right from the meter reading to the collection of the data, to the human resource, to the finance, to the procurement. So that is one of the things we are doing as Smart People Africa, even to work with the utilities to ensure that they are able to get visibility on their data and they are able to work to reduce the non-revenue water. So we are also introducing the smart water meters with the NB-IoT technology, which can be installed in the DMA zones and also in the residential areas. So with the smart meters and the smart metering technology, again, we are able to improve and reduce the non-revenue water that we are not able to do with the mechanical meters. So this is an example of a dashboard that is presented. So this is just the analytics, which you can be able to collect data and analyze this data. We also have GIS. Again, we also work in collaboration with S3 to provide this. So this also ensures that you have actual, even with regards to the specificity of where the meter is. And we're also working with the network monitoring, which is now the pressure sensors and rectifying the bursts and the leaks. Thank you very much. That will be the end of my presentation. Asanteni.
Yeah, thank you so much. You've actually done 9 minutes. That's quite colleagues at home and also our bosses out there that we are live both on Facebook and YouTube channels, WASPA pages. So we would like as many people as possible to follow this conversation from here in Eldoret, because these are good information that we've been given and we would want to share to as many people as possible. Our next presenter is Suraj Danani, Director of Danco Capital. He is going to give us a presentation on pioneering customer satisfaction in Kenya by tackling non-revenue water. So, karibu Suraj. So you have 15 minutes. You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. I know it's a bit of a shock to see me. Sometimes I scare myself in the mirror. You know, obviously I'm not married, otherwise I would be balding. But anyway, I'm from a company called Danco, and we've been in water and sanitation for the last 8 years. And we've been providing solutions from piping, from valves, from metering, everything aimed at reducing non-revenue water. And that has been our focus ever since we started. So once our presentation starts rolling, I can give you a bit of introduction into Danco and Deal Metering, who we represent in the region. You can go on to the next slide. That's me. So I'm a doctor of engineering, like most of you fellow engineers here. But my skill set is in chemical engineering, but same. Really what has driven us to create this company is the passion to give people access to water. And that is in our vision and mission of really driving down non-revenue water through smart solutions. So when we look at our our company, Danco, we represent a number of brands. Some that we manufacture in Kenya, and some that we have very strong partnerships with. What we pride ourselves in is when we have a vendor, we stick to one. And Deal Metering has been with us on our journey on metering for the last 4 years. And we've done amazing things with them. I would say in Kenya alone, we've supplied more than 130,000 meters. A lot of you are benefactors of their technology. In the region, 150,000 meters. So our meters are really proving themselves as actually the major driver in reducing non-revenue water. Before we even discuss smart metering is a good meter, right? That's your basic start point. So when we're looking at a solution, right, we're looking at obviously hardware and software. And when I come back to the point of hardware is, let's look at the meter first. If you could go to the next slide. When we're looking at meters, right, what are our expectations? Our expectations should be that the meter should last a minimum of 15 years, right? It should provide you accurate water readings for the entire 15 years, and it should also give you the correct billing, right? You shouldn't underbill, you shouldn't overbill. It should be what the customer is using and actually what you should be billing. So from the meter perspective, we have what we say are the best quality meters in the world. And obviously I'm going to say that, but we've proven this because we have, I would say, installed globally, we probably have more than 200 million meters in the world. And interestingly enough, the stat that's really, really quite resounding in terms of Deal Metering is 57 million meters are under AMR around the world for Deal Metering. I mean, that's immense, right? 57 million consumers are on a smart network and being managed by water utilities. And that is no small feat. Deal Metering have been doing this for more than 25 years. So it's very powerful stuff. We have projects from South America to the US, to the Middle East, to Africa. Interesting enough, actually, 2 million meters in Africa are also under AMR. So that's also quite impressive for where we are emerging for in water, non-revenue water solutions in Africa as a whole. When we're looking at sort of the three ways of having a smart network. We're looking at a walk-by, a drive-by, and a fixed network solution. And all three have their merits. The beauty about AMR is we have to understand, what do the consumers actually want, right? What do you all want? Every water utility has their own unique problems. So every AMR solution should be flexible enough to be catering to those specific issues, right? So we have three major, and there's a lot of refinement within those, and tailor-made solutions as well. How it works, sorry, if you just go back to the previous slide. How it works, basically, is we have areas that are very dense and very dense urban environments, right? Where we really push a fixed network, right? And fixed network means basically our meter throws out a radio signal, right? And there's a concentrator and a receiver that is able to receive 10,000 meters at a time, and that sends a GSM signal as often as you'd like. The beauty about deal metering is that we're able to send signals every 12 seconds. So every 12 seconds, you're getting an updated reading, right? And this is still making sure that our battery life is the 15 years as promised, right? And this is a battery life of the radio module, and obviously longevity of the meter. When we're looking at some of the projects that we've been involved with as Danco, we have done, as I said, we've supplied over 100,000 meters in Kenya and in the region. And we have, in Kenya, we have over 1,000 meters under an AMR solution. In Rwanda, we have 3,000 meters under a solution. In Uganda and Tanzania, shortly we'll be at another couple of thousand. So we are developing a strong base of knowledge and expertise within this region. When we're looking at sort of the capabilities of our AMR systems, it's very simple. It's getting data on time, every 7 seconds in our case. Also, making sure that there is rich data coming through the system, not just a meter reading, right? Meter reading is the absolute base level. We have the ability of the meter to be able to send leakage alarms, tampering alarms. If anyone is messing around with the meter, G-clamp or magnetic interference or whatever it is, the meter is able to throw out a distress signal to the AMR system. And this is true for our ultrasonic meters, for our mechanical meters, our consumer meters, our bulk meters. Everything gets the same benefits, whether it's mechanical or ultrasonic, gets the same benefits through this radio technology. And what we have is an example of a dashboard. Dashboards are great. They're highly customizable. We've set one up here as a live demonstration. But you're able to get so much more information than you know what to deal with. What we have also, which is very critical, I feel, in providing your consumers or your clients the best experience of AMR, is all of our consumers will get all of your consumers will get an app on which they're able to see, once they click the app, they're able to see their live consumption, right, and their billing, right, whenever they want, right? It's an app and it's live, and it is a good way for every household to be able to manage their budgets and the water consumption. They would know immediately. So now they are direct benefactors of our AMR technology, right? So what you've done is you've enabled your consumers to manage their own water, which is quite powerful in itself, right? We know water is a scarce resource. It's becoming more and more difficult to get fresh water in Kenya as well. So some of the projects, just as a proving ground in Kenya, is I think a lot of you visited a project here in Eldoret, where there's 700 meters under AMR. And just as a brief I'm not sure you can see very clearly there. What we have is 2 receivers, right? Capturing meters in a radius. And I believe we've programmed them to release data every hour, right? And then data to come in once a day. So what we do is we get rich data. In every single radio module that we have, our radio modules have the ability to log data, right? 1,000 points of data, 1,000 points of historical alarms, 1,000 points of historical consumption. So what you're getting is not just instantaneous sort of, okay, what's the reading right now? And then you come back to measure in tomorrow, okay, what's the reading now? Your graph would look like a straight line. It doesn't do that. It's able to give you live consumption and 1,000 points of data every 12 seconds, and you get real consumption data that is actually useful to any analyst looking at this data. What are consumption trends, right? When do we need to have effective pressure management at reducing our non-revenue water, right? When can we start introducing pressure management and really adding that into our metering and consumption patterns to give a really, really good strategy of reducing our non-revenue water, right? In this project in particular, our non-revenue water, you know, like most AMR systems should, they are able to give you a live indication of your non-revenue water, right? In this project currently it is sitting at 6%, right? And the surrounding areas at 42%. And that again is very powerful, right? 6% is pretty incredible for, I think it's 47% as a national average, or something close. So it's tremendous. There's projects that we've done in Nigeria, I think in Abuja, where as soon as we switched on the AMR system for an existing network, overnight the non-revenue water dropped by 7%, overnight. And that's incredible, right? And that's basically because they had the correct meters, obviously, good quality meters. And second of all is they're able to address leaks and some commercial losses and theft immediately when they switched it on. And I think when we were first installing this system in Eldowas, what was amazing to see, I think it was the first day, and then the system was running at night, and in the morning when we came to retrieve the data, we'd seen that actually there was theft happening, right? There was one household that pulled, I don't know, 20 or 30 cubic meters overnight. Immediately they knew that they must go and address this issue. But if we had meter reading happening every month or an estimated billing, this would never have been captured. So there are tremendous success stories in Kenya with existing pilots and projects in the region, 100%, definitely for sure. And what we want to do as a company is make sure that AMR is accessible, right? Everyone, I think AMR has a stigma.
You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. AMR has a stigma where everyone gets inundated with a lot of information, right? It's a lot to take in. But I think it can be very simple, and it really should address the unique problems that each and every one of you have. So this is important, and I think I implore you, if you have some time, please come and visit our stall, because there are solutions that can be had over a discussion, and I think that's much more powerful. This is just a video of sort of all the different ways that AMR works for us. This is the walk-by system where someone is walking with a receiver, and he has a collect data in a 1 kilometer radius. The other version of this, of course, is, and obviously that's live being transmitted back into the dashboard and into your servers. And the other option is drive-by, where you have the same system moving much faster with a car and pulling in data. So those really work in sparse areas. And then we also have the fixed network solution, where we can set up a grid for receiving radio signals and so let's debunk some of them. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think for those who were with us yesterday during the excursion, most of the things he's talked about we were able to see. The meters he's talked about is what we have in Kipkorgot, and we're still available. We can give you the real data from our system. Our next presenter is Shadrach Wegulo from Liaison. He's going to give us a presentation on innovations and technologies in AMI with Liaison technology. Karibu Shadrach. You can clap for him as he's coming up.
Good morning, everybody. Can you give me the slides, please? Yeah. Next. That is the introduction. That's my name and everything. So I don't need to introduce myself. So I'm going just to talk about, I know WSPs have varied challenges in the addressing some of these things. But I've just sampled out 3 major ones. Problems first, then smart metering solutions, then the concerns during some project execution. So next. If you look at that, those slides, we have long collection periods. Those are some of the problems that are being encountered in the WSPs. Having door-to-door meter reading and all that. It's a major problem which is causing a lot of time wasting, manual reading, data, manual input and invoice deliveries. Then we have low collection ratio. Sometimes WSPs do disconnections, they penalize customers, then they refuse to pay. We have illegal deals, as my niece have already shown. We have also very high non-revenue water, leakages and all this. Liaison is here to bring solutions to those problems. Even if they will not solve all of them, but at least we'll have a solution, as we shall see our meter solution. Next slide, please. Another problem that the WSPs are encountering is the environment. And from that chart, you can see that is a water company which was doing very well before that virus came. That virus came as a result of the environment. So if we had, you can see they were doing very well in terms of collection in 2019. When the virus was there in 2020, you can see how the collections has gone back. So the environment affects all the WSPs, not only one WSP. So that is just how the environment is a problem to WSPs. Our solutions can address that. Next. That's just a comparative performance before and after prepaid introduction in one of the WSPs in Zambia. And you can see how the smart meters have short their collections. You can see also the other graph is also some other WSP in Zambia. When the introduction of the smart meters were introduced, there was a collection improvement of 65%. Next. Now, let us look at the solutions Liaison wants to provide to the WSPs so that you can maybe appreciate in solving those problems we have just seen. We have the prepaid meters, we have the vending, we have the multi-communication methods, and remote. All those meters have their own advantages. We have the automatic data upload, we have reverse flow detection. It can detect if there is flow is new. We have 10 years data record storage. And we have, they can also detect water leakages. So there is no need of employing other devices in the field to do. Then we have anti-tamper. If in case of anybody wants to tamper with those meters, it can give an alarm. And obviously somebody, when an alarm goes on, when you want to steal my vehicle, even you will run. Next. So we have the 3 types of smart water meter solutions. We have the LoRa. My friend also presented about LoRa. We have the GPRS, the narrow band. Then we have the Internet of Things smart module. So as my friend also has just said, please, when you have time from here, you can come, then you will all have a look at all these we're talking about. So we have the prepaid meters with the LoRa. Then we have the customer interface unit for recharging and querying. Then we have the Aqua radio, then Aqua Pro radio remote data collection. All those my friend has also just shown, which has the vending system. You can walk through, then you collect data, you upload wherever you are. Next. Yeah, at the vending, you can see as we do it sends. You can also use via mobile. And the beauty is that we are also liaising with Safaricom. And M-Pesa has already been interfaced with our software. And a number of local WSPs, not really the urban WSPs, but the community ones, are using our meters, and they are using these methods of transaction when payments through M-Pesa. Next. That is meter recharge. We have that is ICU. You can go on site and then recharge, or you can recharge using the knee from your desk in the office, and you will get a receipt for that. And it also gives you that, and if you need those that website, https://www.youtube, you can see these things live on YouTube. Next. Yeah, the way you can also drive in, and all the data is collected by the data concentrator units, and they send to the net for the center in the liaison data management system, and you will see what is happening in the field as somebody walks. Those are just some of the meters we have. We have the GPRS ultrasonic for both customer production meters, and we have both customer and production. If you want a production meter ultrasonic, they are available with liaison. Next. That is the basic working processes of the liaison meters in the field as we serve the customers. Yesterday we had somebody asking that Eldorus has installed some mechanical meters and smart meters. Liaison has the capability of using the ITO smart meter module mechanical meters to retrofit, so that a mechanical meter can be retrofitted with a smart meter, and it can liaise with the smart meters that are now in the field. Please. Yeah, now this is just an introduction to the meter data management. We have the meter management data management system structure, smartphone app for the management, then the district metering, area metering. Those are some of the data management system structures we're just talking about, how they correlate in providing the information as we work out. Now, smart meter app management, we have the mobile vending, we have the aggregated digital token generation. All that is from the water utility to the end user. Then the communication is, everybody is informed and knows what is going on. The utility knows what is going on in the field, while the end user also is knowing how much more water is using and when he's supposed to pay for the next recharge. That is just a district area where it was how you can put your meters in the district so that at the end of the operation zone 2 there, you can see the tank at 1 and 2. So when you analyze that, you will see that the meters have really generated the non-revenue rate reports for each district, and 24/7 online monitoring of the meters. Then we have the, you can also have in your own system, get some maybe top 10 or 5 or new districts where you suspect there's a lot of water losses, then you have that. Then we have the benefits of the prepaid smart meters. Next. We have the compatibility. They are very compatible. And it has shown in some areas where it has been used. Then we have no historical data, debt, I mean, because it's as pay as you go. And people cannot have debts. And for your information, you cannot lose the debts that accrued, because once we install the meter, it is the debt is loaded to the meter. And therefore, just the same way as you waste fuliza, ukiwa na fuliza. Then we have improved cash flow, automatic data collection, then customer persona, then improved efficiency generally. Next. Then we have those concerns. In most cases, when we have been doing we have some concerns. And the key factors during project implementation is the meter type selection. This has been very important, and we have really put it in. By the way, Lyson is a manufacturer of these meters, not just a vendor. Then we also considered the integration protection level to make sure that these meters can resist all types of aggressions and all that. Then we have meter lifespan.
You have
meter
2 minutes to go.
Okay. Meter lifespan, we have really taken care of. Value stability. Then all those. Then the other thing is the project budget. Then financial solutions for the water companies. We have roll out efficiency with the limited budget. We can assist you roll out with that small budget you have. Then we can also assist proceed effectively face to face in smart metering your system. Next. These are some of the trainings we have undertaken. Zambia, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Angola, Egypt, Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Kenya. Out of this, Egypt is the biggest consumer with around 300,000 pieces right now. As we talk right now, Kenya has only consumed about 5,000. Next. So we're just saying that Lyson is a widely used water meter brand in Africa. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. He's talked of something that you cannot fuliza when you already have fuliza, so maybe something to think about. Our next presenter is Kenneth Wendo. Is he in the house? Kenneth will be giving us a presentation on innovations and technologies in AMI in Maji Milele. Where is Kenneth? Is he around? Looks like he's not around, so if So I'm told he's not there. So that was our last presenter. In that case, then I will want to welcome all the presenters who have made the presentations today, from Top Pipes to Wegulo was just finished. Please come on stage. Then we will go to the plenary session where we'll have questions from the floor. So if you have your questions ready, please be ready. And I want to request that somebody move around with the mic so that we can take the questions. So all the presenters, please come to the stage. Top Pipes. Go Soft. Smart People. So I'll request that as you ask your question, please tell us to whom the question is directed so that the panelists can respond accordingly. So as she's coming up, please come and take the seat next to me. I want to welcome the first set of questions. We'll take there are 5, so we'll do first 5 questions, hoping that they will be spread across, but of course they may not be. So who will assist me with the mic to take the mic across the room? Some of the ushers in the house? Oh yeah, somebody already saw can I have the first set of questions? Hands up. There's a question there, 1, 2, 2, 3 at the back, and 4. The 5th, the last in the first round. I'm looking for the last question. There's a hand there. Okay, first question, yes. Second, there was a hand from the back. Hold the mic close to your mouth, yes. It's not, was the question clear? He's asking something about the food valves. Maybe you can repeat the question, he didn't clearly. Yeah, I think it's clear now. I think it's okay. Thank you. Next. There's a hand, yes. And there was a gentleman at the back.
My name is Joseph. I'm from my topics regarding the water analysis of the system to provide the location of the various airlines. We have an analysis done on our system, but unfortunately it is inconclusive because the data on our pumps is not available. They are really old pumps. We do not have the data sheets for these pumps are not available. So for your water analysis, would you require this data, or is it possible for you to provide an analysis that is conclusive without this pump data?
Yeah, the next question.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ogongo. I work with so two concerns. First is acknowledging the role private sector is playing in terms of providing solutions to the problems that USPs are facing. However, from looking at the trends, it seems the metering infrastructure and the growing is stuck at we call it experimental levels. Yeah, I know a couple of utilities that have been testing along the way before. So the question I want to put across is, where is the missing value? Why is it that despite the solutions of the smart metering being on board, utilities are slowly picking back? And I tend to think the solution is fantastic. However, they are not tailored to address the specific they are not tailored to suit the operating environment of WSPs. I want to give you an example. Based on the impact report that is released, just 37% of WSPs are breaking even. That is, they are able to meet their own operation cost. We have a whopping 63% who are not breaking even. Considering also, if you look at the consumption part of utility generally, nearly 80% of customers are consuming water between 0 to 6 units per month. That translates to an average of 4,000 per year. So if an average cost of a smart meter is 13,000, and from a consumer, you can only get at least 4,000 in a year. Will a utility consider that cost in 4 years? And then, of course, we know meters have their operation span. So the utility has a small window to get the return on investment. So the question is, what is the missing puzzle? And how is the private sector working to fix that? The last one is about sustainability. The products are very complex. They are very complex. And if it will get to a point where now it is on the takeoff and people are buying the smart meters, how is the private sector supporting WSPs to create capacity? Yeah, these products are complex. What we see is sales. Yet in the Water Act, there are those institutions that are mandated to bring, for example, KEWI, to enhance capacity. Are the innovators working with the existing institution to build capacity so that once this product take off?
I think it's clear. I think the question is clear. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
From you, yes. So, is there any? Those are four. The last is one. There's a gentleman here. We will come for the second round. There's a gentleman here. Yes. Question.
Thank you very much. My name is Ogol Michael from Sierra. Part of my question has been asked by Osman, and not repeat, but I have two questions. One is to Liaison. There's a time we had a workshop and you indicated that you are going to assist the utilities do a pilot program. How far has it reached? Then two is to Top Pipe. I wanted to know how we can engage in the network analysis and pressure management last one is for SP. I didn't get it clearly how your services help in revenue management. It was not very clear to us. I'm a consumer of your services and product. I'd be more interested in how the same can be upscaled in revenue water management. Thank you.
Thank you. So I want the panelists to respond to the questions. So the microphone will move from, I think top pipe, you have the highest number of questions. So we'll move the microphone as it comes to this end. Karibu.
Thank you. The first question was on training. Yes, I'd like to confirm that at Top Pipe we do conduct training. We've had sessions with plumbers and water utility providers where, and the training is absolutely free, so we are not charging. You see, the whole purpose is for us to be able to improve from current NRWs we are having to the targets that we set. So just as a support to the water utilities, we are offering free training on plumbing material, as well as how the technology that we have, you're able to utilize it out there for your benefit. Thank you. Then there was the second question on how the float valve works. You see, this is a departure from the previous float valve that had just a ball and a rod. And so many times you when the tank is full, you have the rod slightly bending, therefore not actually sealing properly. The new technology that we are presenting has the rod, a small one, but it is actually just for actuating the process of leak tight filling. So please do visit our resource center. We have an exact float valve over there. We'll be able to have a look at it and be able to explain to you more on the same. Then the other question was on whether without the pump ratings, we are able to do analysis for the pipeline, if I got you right. What basically we need on this is just the pipeline profile, the chainages, and then we can be able to analyze that data and be able to specifically tell you at what points you need air valves and what sort of air valves you need, because there are triple action air valves and of course there are single action air valves. So we'll be able to tell you from the profile analysis the type of air valves that are required and the numbers also, so that we don't also run the risk of overspecking or underspecking. Then the other one was someone wanted to know how we can engage in terms of analysis for pipelines. We have sort of, if you allow me, our doors are open for everyone, 24/7. We are on call. We have a team of experts, both internationally, together with our partners, and locally. So we don't charge anything for these sort of things. You consider it like a value addition, because in the end, if I'm able to provide a solution that is up to the mark, I mean, why won't you come to me the next time again and again? So because of that, some of these things we just give them freely, like support to you guys, and of course, together with all the other solutions that are available. Thank you.
Maybe go soft, you may want to take the question from Odongo on the issue of what is the missing link and why is there slow uptake in technology by WSPs?
Thank you. On the matter of the missing link, our take is that it's not the missing link per se, it is the slow uptake. These technologies have been around for some time, and the uptake, the change, that needs to happen from both a design point of view, a management point of view, an acceptance point of view, needs to happen across board. It does not just need to happen with one department or one person or just the board or the MD. That change process does take time. Change management comes on board. Maybe the change management elements could have a cost element, and that needs to be budgeted. We also have the little matter of there's a national body that manages tariffs, and therefore sometimes we may require capital to quickly adopt the new technologies, and those capitals may not be readily available, and probably that's why we have got funding organizations and donors and banks to fill in that gap. It is a chasm, if I could use that word, whereby we've got the early adopters. Now we are looking at the early majority. And between the early adopters, because the technology exists, between the early adopters and the early majority, there's that wide gap there of, do we jump, do we not? When do we jump? Who do we require to really get on board this new environment? I think that is where we are. We are the chasm. And I think it's just a matter of time. In another 2 to maybe 5 years, the adoption will be large. Maybe just to mention one thing about GoSoft is that when you purchase the meter and the software from us, we bundle it with free training. Basic things like being able to change the battery just comes bundled with that training. How to use the platform comes bundled in the training. And we share with you something we call an installation and service and maintenance guide. Should you have anything that needs to come up, then you have got a document and you have got training as part of the price. We do change management. If a meter would go faulty, in the unlikely event that it would go faulty, and you still want to retain customer data, we have a full change management process. We can change the meter while still retaining all the historical data of a particular client. We have got spare parts in country and standby devices because our meters come with a 3-year warranty. So should anything be required, we are able to do that. And with regard to revenue growth, what we are looking at is how do we improve your revenues. And largely, we are looking at the ability to have accurate meter reading and timely billing for the WSP. That will improve on revenues. And number 2, we want to reduce, on your behalf, the OPEX components that come with running your enterprises by making sure that meters are read on time and on the go. It's in real time, and that therefore billing can equally happen on equal measure. Thank you.
Thank you. Eliason, there's a question from Mogol in terms of the pilot project that's ongoing.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's true. We had the first communication to the WSPs in December 2021, and we circulated a questionnaire to have an understanding of the situations, number of connections, number of customers you have, collection efficiency, and all that. But only about less than 5 WSPs responded. I tried to follow up with the other WSPs. The essence was to get about 20 WSPs who are willing for the pilot project, which, as my friend said, it is a free pilot project. But so far, I've only gotten 4 WSPs. You see, shipping meters, say 100 meters from China for the 4 WSPs is very expensive. I wanted to get about 20 WSPs who are willing to do a free pilot project. Then I ship like 400 pieces of meter. It's a bit cheaper. so that the pilot project can pick up. And that's why it has taken this long. And that goes to Odongo's question that why has the uptake of the technology has been, so you can see even the free one, the uptake is still not being impressed. So Mr. Gold, maybe as we conclude this conference, I will have gotten a full response to you as to when the pilot will pick up in your company.
Okay. So we are here. I think we've had the challenge from Liaison. They have some free meters they want to pilot. So those who are willing to take the challenge, please maybe you can contact him after this so that you can have the discussion. Danko, there are a number of questions to you. 15 years period for meters and the like. Please, we have less than 5 minutes to wrap up the session. So
I'll be quick. You were asking me about the cost of a meter. What is the cost of having a bad meter? Let's discuss that. Because we've been involved in many projects where there have been poorly performing meters that have underbilled and people have lost a lot of revenue. So 15 years, 7 years and 15 years, our meters last that long and longer. 15 years is what we expect the accuracy to last. So if we're giving you an R400 or R800 or R315 meter, that's the accuracy we expect for that long. The other thing I wanted to touch on is what Osborne said, which is very, very important, right? Sustainability. And everyone gets excited about AMR, but I always come back to the point is, when you're looking at AMR, it needs to be a modular approach, right? And I feel when everyone does everything too quickly, it sort of dissipates along the way. So what we would always suggest is, first invest in a good meter, right? That is your ATM. If your meter is not accurate, you're not gonna get anywhere near the non-revenue water targets that you will do. The second thing is you should invest in a system where you can buy the meter today and then make it AMR whenever you have the ability to do so, right? So having a modular system can ease people into the thinking of AMR and also reduce your capital requirement. And in terms of sustainability, working with manufacturers, we are manufacturers of the meter, and we manufacture every single component in the entire string, from electronics to everything. So in terms of sustainability, the parts will always be there, they'll never be outdated, and you have direct access to the people who are producing the technology. So that is also very powerful. Remember that technology changes, but if you're with a manufacturer who can produce the entire line of components, then nothing will change. So, yeah.
Smart people, there was a question, I think from Ogol, something you're also working with, and probably your closing remarks.
All right, thank you. So when it comes to how our solution is able to help deal with the non-revenue water, so first of all is the issue of the meter reading. We have automated the system such that it's not the meter readers who key in the data manually on collecting the meter readings. So what we do, we have the meter reading app that is now able to collect the meter readings, which is now in turn with the ERP system. So our ERP solution, which is able to automate the billing, now takes on the meter reading, and those bills are able to be sent to the customers. So the reduction of errors and the reduction of the human intervention when it comes to the meter reading is actually the beginning of where we start dealing with the non-revenue water. So that's where we come in with regards to that, and then now the automation of all other processes, such that the data that is in the billing is the same data that is in finance, is the same data that is in the procurement and the human resource et al. So that is actually one of the interventions that we have with regards to that. So it's also data that is being collected, and we're able to use that data to be able to advise the customers. So that is now with regards to the data analysis. And that is part of what we're saying in the case of Nyeri and Nakuru. They have actually shown tremendous improvement. They've managed to reduce the commercial losses, and they're now working to reduce the physical losses.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think there was one hand that somebody had a question. I don't know if that question has been answered. Yes, so I will take the last two questions. There is one hand from the lady and the gentleman here. Any other question? Any other person with the last question?
That will be the final question. So the last 3 questions, and then we wrap the session. You wanted to know about the lifespan? Thank you, thank you. The next question? Make it quick, straight to the point.
Thank you. My name is from WASPA. I have 3 questions that have been asked. Point 1, and this relates to data security, especially for our customers. How secure is the data that is within the network, the system that we're implementing?
Very important question. Data security. How secure is the data of our customers within the solutions? The last question was from this side.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph from Runda Water. Now, my question goes to GoSoft. And majorly it's on the sensor of the ultrasonic meters. I have 2 concerns on these sensors because if we are to solve non-revenue water, I believe that this sensor has to be installed in such a way that it will cater for the volume of water passing through the meter, either in low or high pressure areas. So, water surety, do we on how the function like the mechanical meter, the meter has the ability of taking of water. However, the volume is unlike the other. So no, the sensor up the water and because we see the water treatment have highly like chlorine, not going to shorten the lifespan of these meters.
Okay, I think it's clear. So I'll give Danko, GoSoft 1 minute each to respond to the questions, and then somebody can take the last one on data security. So Danko.
Hi. So when you're talking about lifespan, typically our water meters are guaranteed for 15 years, and our radio modules are also 15-year life. So it's incredibly long time. It's not to say that the meter will stop working. It will continue, but we guarantee the accuracy for up to 15 years. On the issue of spare parts, we have stock for all our components here in Kenya. And we have trained technicians from Germany who are able to come and address any issues on site. When we're looking at data security, I mean, data security is, look, we're a German company, right? A German and French company. And data security is the most important aspect of any data transmission in Europe. So we follow all the latest protocols for data security, and the same applies to Kenya as well. Everything is encrypted. No one has access to data, and they're not able to decrypt it.
GoSoft.
Thank you, Joseph, for that question. The question is about the pressure sensor and the ability of that pressure sensor to give you information when you've got an extreme low flow or an extreme high flow. And maybe just to mention that for the mechanical meters, you have no way of knowing the pressure in the water because that is managed from the source. But should there be other factors, external factors, like pipe burst along the way, you are never able to know the real pressure going through the pipe. And that's why every meter has got minimum flow rate that can be used for metering. Our minimum flow rate on our domestic meters is 0.0015. That means that when you've got 1.5 liters of water flowing through that meter, it is still measured. Below that, then that water is not measured. So every meter has got the value that it should capture for the minimum flow rate, maximum flow rate, and the normal flow rate. The purpose of a pressure sensor is to therefore let you know the pressure passing through that water. Water flows through because of energy, because of power. That power could be gravitational, or it could be because it's being pumped. And with that power, there's pressure. And that's why it's important to measure that pressure. So what we do is that we align our pressure sensors with the minimum flow that is relevant or that is measurable in that meter. For instance, our minimum pressure levels on our domestic meters is 1.6 megapascals, and we can still measure water even when it is at 2 megapascals, which is a massive increment. It's a 20%, a 25% increment in pressure from what is considered as standard. So what we do with that is now for the pressure sensors, we stipulate the minimum levels of pressure, then we get alerts, and you get informed when those pressures are below a particular limit or they exceed a particular maximum amount.
I think that's clear. There was a second question on corrosive nature of the water, chlorine in particular.
Very good. All our meters use stainless steel. All of them. So there's no corrosion.
So
all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meaning they are not susceptible to any corrosion.
No.
I think with that we come to the end of the session. It's 10 minutes past 11. We are supposed to wrap up at 11. So I want us to give a round of applause to the panelists. I know this is a very interesting discussion, and should you be having any questions, please feel free to contact the panelists here. Each of them, I said, they have a stand at the exhibition, so you may want to join them for further discussions. Asante sana, and that marks the end of my session. I want to return to the CEO. Asante sana, Bwana CEO. My panelists, please feel free to go back to your seats.
Thank you, Engineer Jimmy Kemboy, one of the seasoned professionals that we have in the sector. One round of applause for Engineer Jimmy. And again, to the presenters, panelists, one round of applause to them, please. Now, just to remind you is that we are live across the globe. This is being watched around the globe. You can follow us on Water Services Providers Association Facebook page and also the YouTube. So it is being widely followed, and those who are following us on those pages that I've mentioned, you can engage us directly by sharing your comments, and we will be able to discuss them here. Now, I didn't want to stop because you have witnessed the quality of discussions here, and one thing that is coming out clearly is about data protection. And this has been a concern for us. We don't want to be taken back and be told that those servers, those people are sleeping. They never woke up. Did they wake up? Up to now, it has never been opened, and they have never woken up. I don't know, the giant telco is here. So I think for us as utilities, we would want also to be able to be in charge of our own data. And that is very key. So I believe those are questions that will be addressed as we move forward. Now, we have 45 minutes from now. That takes us to almost 11:56. So kindly, let's go for a health break. It is ready, and we'll be here just 4 minutes, just before 12, before noon. We should be settled here, please. We still have a gamut of presentations, technical presentations. So the earlier we are here, the better. But this affords you the opportunity to have the health break and also engage the exhibitors. So I would want to encourage and persuade the exhibitors, let your booths be live. Let, as the delegates come to the exhibition, let us not find a booth that is empty, that is unattended, because it will be passed and you won't get value to engage. So this session is adjourned up to 11:56. Enjoy your